going? Hopefully you've had a reasonably productive weekend, though now it is Monday, August 10, and the start of a new week in gaming. Welcome back, new and existing subscribers. So quite a few interesting updates to some of the more juicier news stories already covered via FOXY Games UK just last week. So we'll be doing no form of procrastination here. Let's get straight into it and talk about it. So I have reported over the past several weeks, if not months now, that gamers should expect a return to the Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 3 battle of the timed exclusives going into the next generation PS5 and Xbox series of consoles. Well, it was only a matter of time before the rest of the media caught up and finally began to report on this in any discernible detail. Now, WCCFtech.com are just one of such outlets reporting on what many believe to be probably the most anti-consumer thing in the world. Yes, we're talking the age-old tradition of timed exclusivity. Now, before we get into this news proper, I have heard a few things myself of which I had tweeted last week. Happy to share. Just to preface, this is not my rumor, this did not come from my people, but allegedly a multi-game deal regarding one of the world's biggest franchises is coming first to PlayStation 5. And I've been told to advise you to get ready to vandalize your pants. If this is legit, and if it's what I, and I'm sure a lot of you think it is, dare we say it, Grand Theft Auto 6, if true, then forget about console wars. There's no console war. It is a wrap. The end. Now, this deal is alleged to have set Sony back some $750 million US, dwarfing Sony's most recent $250 million deal with Epic Games. Think about that figure for a moment. $750 million for an exclusivity deal signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, this figure is either completely legit or the biggest wind-up in gaming history. I guess it won't be too long before we find out. Look, even if it transpires that the deal is not related to the next Grand Theft Auto, I'm hearing some of the third-party multi-platform timed exclusivity PS5 games locked in by Sony will be viewed as quote-unquote aggressive within the industry. Apparently users of other platforms are going to hit the roof when Sony makes it official. The game is apparently such a huge deal. Don't be surprised if some idiot issues an entitlement lawsuit against Sony. Now, here's a rather curious excerpt and quote from WCCF Tech's report. So over the last, or I say past few days, we've started to learn more on Sony's strategy regarding PS5 exclusivity, these deals, timed, have you, whatever. And a recent report suggests that the Japanese company is being particularly aggressive in this regard. Basically an extension of Friday's video. If you've missed it, go catch up. Yes, catch up indeed. Only since that upload, a bit more info has surfaced. So yeah, FOXY Games UK already informed you. Kinda Funny's Imran Khan took to the Reset Era forums to provide some new information regarding the PlayStation 5 deals he had recently talked about. Here's a quote. There isn't a major third party out there Sony failed to approach asking what kind of deals they could work out. Some had content, some had games, some had content and games. Interesting. Now, according to Khan, Microsoft was willing to make offers as well, but they didn't want to pay the asking price, as Sony went with some very high offers in the first place in order to secure these PlayStation 5 deals. Here's another quote. It's not like Microsoft was not willing to offer, they just didn't want to pay the asking price because Sony approached with pretty high numbers in the first place. Expect that PlayStation Advantage branding and console exclusive wording are both going to get a lot of use in the next few years. Though Microsoft are banking on a slightly different strategy to Sony, and that is to focus on the power narrative, Project X Cloud, its game streaming service, and Game Pass. So today's headliner is PS5 is to cost more than Xbox Series X while struggling more with multi-platform games in terms of comparative performance, at least according to an insider, of course. When isn't it? Now, PS5 and Xbox Series X may be relatively close. They're probably launching in just under 3 months from now, but there's still quite a bit of official information that we're lacking. Chiefly, one of the more important aspects of any new product, yes, the price. Insider Dusk Gollum, then, known mostly for his Capcom, Resident Evil and Street Fighter Silent Hill rumors, posted some new tidbits in a Reset Era thread titled Realistically, How is Microsoft Expected to Compete with Sony Next Generation?, where he said Now, PlayStation 5 is likely to cost more than Xbox Series X, as Microsoft has a greater ability than Sony to absorb production costs while keeping the retail price low. Additionally, Dust Golem also reported information from his sources that Sony's next-gen console is struggling more than Xbox Series X with performance in multi-platform games. Here's a rather interesting, if not lengthy, quote. Some murmurings I've been hearing. I'll just say I suspect this topic is going to age interestingly when a few more details on both platforms are revealed. And I mean this in a few more ways, but to give this the broadest idea, I'll just say that the Xbox Series X is by far more powerful than the PS5 if we're just talking about raw power. Multi-platform games will run better there. It is something people are going to have to prepare themselves for. Add to this, Microsoft are ready to lowball Sony when it comes to price. They can more easily make a sacrifice and get back profits from Game Pass than console sales, really, than Sony can comparatively. Now let's just stop a minute there. All of this is so patently obvious. Yes, Microsoft can undercut Sony because they have more hard cash to do so, and obviously we knew it was going to be more powerful anyway, so one would expect the multi-platform titles to run better. I think Sony's strengths lie in its exclusive titles, where they'll make the machine sing in ways that, compare PS4 Pro to the Xbox One X and you'll get the gist. But anyway, let's continue. So he goes on to say, PS5 is easier to develop for overall, and Sony has very talented studios behind it that will get the most out of the PS5. No shit, Sherlock. That I have no doubts about either, but this topic is about how Microsoft will compete, so what I'm focused on is when it comes to cross-platform games that will end up performing a lot better on Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X will have the tech advantage over PS5, and it will be more than marginal. Now, the basic gist of what I've heard is that PS5 is really good to work for on games exclusive to it. Oh dear. But in practice, the specs kinda get weird for multi-platform games. If really the usage of PS5's SSD systems does help a bit, but not to the fullest. And I've heard some devs really talk a bit about the struggle PS5 has for 1080p games running at 60 FPS still, while Xbox Series really doesn't have that same problem and can push well above that in most cases. Of course, this is a small selection of people I've spoken to. There's more to it, but I hear something that's going to make this generation a bit more interesting is that the PS5 and Xbox Series X focus in other areas are going to make multi-platform games interesting this generation. Now, to the point we may actually see less of them and far more coming to one platform or the other, plus PC, as it's actually kind of hard to make the game optimal for both platforms due to where they're a bit differently focused. Now, all of this just seems like wishy-washy stuff that we've heard before. Months and months ago, we already knew Series X is more powerful than PS5. That is not in dispute. So obviously multi-platform games, as I say, are going to run better there. But the idea that PS5 is struggling at 1080p, running 60 frames per second games is ludicrous, in fact laughable, but we'll carry on. So Dust Golem went on to talk about Resident Evil 8 and how it was struggling on PS5, though that has since been walked back. Really because it was based on an old build of the Resident Evil 8 engine running on PS5. Now obviously all of this information should be regarded as rumour, and you take it with more than a pinch of salt, because absolutely nonsense in my opinion, but I'm not going to be disrespectful here, I'm just passing my critique. However, WCCF Tech claims that Dust Golem has proven to be a reliable leaker, and these really didn't sound that outlandish in terms of Microsoft's financials on the subject of pricing and Xbox Series X, really higher T-flops on the subject of performance. Now add to that, yeah, Microsoft has Game Pass and xCloud and all these other services, so they can afford to make their products cheaper than Sony. Yes, and Sony can do the same, but not really to that much of a degree as Microsoft. So much of this is so obvious that a preschooler could have worked this all out and just, shoved it on the internet and claimed it was from insiders. Nonsense. Anyway, regardless, we should learn more soon about this whole thing, as PS5's price and teardown could be revealed later this month, and no doubt Xbox Series X pricing would certainly follow suit. And since we're on the subject of Xbox, we'll close with this. GamesIndustry.biz reports that Xbox Series S has been confirmed by a leaked controller. A white version of the Xbox Series X controller appeared online, pointing at more than one version of the next-gen Xbox console. Again, something we already knew. A long-rumored additional next-gen Xbox SKU or SKU may have been confirmed by a new Microsoft controller leaked over the weekend. A Twitter user found an Xbox Series X controller for sale on offer for about $35 and shared photos of the packaging and the product. The wireless controller, which comes in a color labeled Robot White, reportedly works on the Series X and S, as well as Xbox One, Windows 10, Android, and iOS. Now, following reports on this leak, TheVerge.com said it was able to confirm it is genuine, although the publication did not share more details and how it got the said confirmation. Now, there's been many rumors of other versions of the next-gen Xbox console since way back as late 2018, but Microsoft still has not confirmed the existence. It's probably the worst kept secret on the planet right now in terms of game consoles. Now, in late 2019, the cheaper Xbox nicknamed Lockhart was reportedly still in the works, and this leak confirms a previous one that happened in late July that was also showing a white version of the Xbox Series X controller. So yeah, if you're after a more affordable version of Xbox Series X, the Series S model could be your best bet. But let's be honest here, who didn't know this was a thing? These rumors are as old as the hills. Still, it's nice to be able to put a lid on it, finally. Though, what say you? Go ahead, sound off, share your thoughts and opinions on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of another video. But let's continue the discussion cordially in the comments. And for your current and next gen news updates, rumor and rampant speculation, hit the like button, spread the word, and yes, keep it locked to FOXY Games UK. Subscribe to FOXY Games UK, remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you like it here, and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing the video. Consider supporting FOXY Games UK via Patreon. There's a link in this video's description. Truly appreciate the support. So, one last thing then. Something you might have paid for is going to be a free feature on PlayStation 5. More to come in the future, so stand by. And that concludes our time together today. Certainly great hanging out. Until the next video, play games, not corporations.